See, I did it again. Let me start from the beginning, guys. I forgot to turn my microphone button on. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Synchronicity 101 webinar. I'm your host, Brad Johnson. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Sorry again about the microphone. That always seems to get me. I have microphone karma, I guess. But anyways, I wanted to do this Synchronicity 101 webinar training a couple of weeks ago, but of course other things came up and it wasn't meant to be. But again, this weekend is perfect, so I'm happy to be here with everybody on the chat. Thank you again, everybody, for being here. So the Synchronicity 101 webinar, we're going to have some PowerPoint slide presentations, or PowerPoint slides, I should say. And the presentation itself is going to be about 45 minutes to an hour. Give or take. So after that's done, then we'll be having Q&A from the live chat audience. So if you guys do have questions for the after the presentation, feel free to type it into the chat. There will be a Q&A time, so we'll spend about 20-30 minutes on Q&A. But again, we're going to be working with synchronicity today. We're going to be understanding more about the nature of synchronicity and how you're able to apply it into your life. So before we begin that, I'm just going to be mentioning about a special offer. Whoops, let me let me go back that 1 second here. Take a moment. Technical difficulties, that's all part of the plan. So let me see. Of course, everything's live, so everything's spontaneous. You never know what happens. All part of synchronicity. Okay. So there is a special offer that's available on New Earth Teachings right now. So if you go to newearthteachings.com, you grab a session, and when you go to the shopping cart page, we have a special promo code. It's called SYNC101, SYNC 101. You'll receive a 20% discount off any session. So whether it's private one-to-one sessions, email sessions, Akashic Records, Spiral Akashic Viewing, the EQ method, Asui Reiki attunements, all of the sessions that are available on New Earth Teachings will be discounted. So again, on your shopping cart page here, you just click on the enter a promo code link, and then you'll type in SYNC101, and you'll get an immediate 20% discount. So this is good until Monday. Okay, so we got today, tomorrow, Monday, to where this will be available. So if you are interested, feel free to go to newearthteachings.com, grab a discounted session. Again, it's available for 3 days. All right, now hopefully technology cooperates with me today. No more microphone cutouts or anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and get started with Synchronicity 101. Here we go. Training to develop conscious manifestation. So that's what we're looking at today. We want to be able to work with the ability of manifestation. We want to work with synchronicity. We want to work with our feelings. We want to work with our emotions. So let's get into it. Working with synchronicity. The language of manifestation begins with synchronicity. Emotional assignment leading to intention sets synchronicity in motion. The confirmation element within a manifestation will emerge as a recognized coincidence. Events of meaning are the product of synchronicity. Okay? So basically what this is saying is that we have what's known as synchronicity and we have what's known as coincidence, right? A coincidence, in that sense, relates to something that you do not have a relationship with, something that you're just witnessing. It's an unassigned event. When you're working with synchronicity, synchronicity is emotionally charged. And as it is emotionally charged, it has something that forms a relationship together with us. So if we're walking down the street and all of a sudden we're thinking that we're getting hungry, all of a sudden we turn our head and there's a salad bar, or a burrito place or whatever it may be, something that you like. All of a sudden, bam, you get this synchronicity based upon that feeling, based upon that sensation of, oh my God, I'm hungry, I could really use something right now. All of a sudden you turn left, oh my God, hey, there's the perfect place, perfect spot I wanted to be in. I can go right in, order my favorite food, hallelujah, right? That form of instantaneous synchronicity. And this is happening all the time for us, whether we are conscientious of it or not. So really, when we're feeling like we're hungry, and we're not trying to give it some big conscious plan or anything of that nature, we're just spontaneously walking down a street, our stomach starts to grumble, we get that sensation, that emotion comes up, all of a sudden, bam, there's our favorite food joint. And it's right there in front of us. Oh my God, this is incredible, right? So that again is the idea of an assigned event, right? An event that takes place that has an emotional chain attached to it, right? So you are in relationship with that aspect, and that becomes synchronicity. Like again, when we're doing a meditation, we open our eyes, maybe we just had a really nice meditation, all of a sudden, bam, we see an 11:11 on the clock, right? So this is letting us know that everything is completely arranged in divine timing. It feels perfect. It was the perfect moment. And then we get that 11:11. So again, we're looking at that shift, an opening of a gateway. Reality is now creating that aspect of that perfect moment for us. Everything just feels tranquil. It feels divine. It feels blissful. And we open our eyes and bam, there's an 11:11 on the clock. So even the numerological synchronicities, again, are very, very big. I've had people from all over the world telling me, Brad, I'm constantly getting 11:11s and 1:11s and 2:22s and 3:33s. What's going on? I said, well, you're basically aligning yourself in divine timing. So something that you're thinking of, something that you're feeling, some type of sensation that comes forward, and all of a sudden you're seeing that synchronicity on the clock or on a driver's license or on a plate, license plate, or wherever, is coming together and letting you know you're aligned. You're in perfect alignment, right? So an old cycle of yours is closed, a new gateway has opened. So when you're looking at these 222s or 333s, some people can see their birth dates, right? Same aspect, right? So we're looking into the idea of how this is aligning into the perfect moment. It's the universe telling you you're aligned, you're focused, you're centered. Here's a new gateway. Here's a new opening of an opportunity that will complement how you're feeling aligned about yourself, right? Because we can be driving in our car, we can be walking, we can be thinking about things, and all of a sudden we look at something that is like an aha moment. And all of a sudden again we look at our watch, 12:12, right? 2:22, 3:33. Fantastic. So I'm aligned in that state. So it is synchronicity letting you know you're aligned. You're in alignment. You're completely in that state where now you can open up a new theme of exploration, and now it will complement what you were thinking about, what you were feeling about. I feel great today. I feel wonderful today. I feel like singing, right? Then all of a sudden you get that 11:11 on the clock. Start singing. Start dancing. Start enjoying it because you're completely in the alignment to enjoy that moment. Okay? So that is a signed event. That's what is emotionally linked toward us through that synchronicity. So again, the confirmation element within a manifestation will emerge as a recognized coincidence. So again, looking at those two aspects between coincidence and synchronicity. And we're going to look at the law of coherency, because I have spoken about this, Adronis has spoken about this as well too. The law of attraction is an incomplete law. As a magnetic being, you hold energies that attract and repel. Looking at coherency represents groups of manifestation that you are in association with and not in association with. We look at what we're not as a means of deciding what we are. This is the greatest understanding within the law of coherency. What is in relationship with you is in coherency. What is not in relationship with you is incoherency. So this helps us to kind of steer past that aspect of the law of attraction, right? I get a lot of people who say, Brad, I follow the law of attraction to death. Nothing really happens. What's going on? And I tell them, well, it's an incomplete law. It's the idea that you're only looking at one polarity as it relates to magnetism, and that when we're looking into the law of coherency, we're looking into everything that relates to relationship or lack thereof. So it's also important to look at what we know that we are repelling, rather than just looking at what we're constantly trying to attract in our reality, right? Because we get a lot of the law of attraction aspect of feeling that I need to, attract this and I need to bring this into myself. Why isn't this happening? What's going on? Why isn't the law of attraction working? You have to understand more about coherency, right? So there's looking more into what you are not rather than looking in what you are. So again, you want to make $1 million, you want to make $10 million, you want to have this fortune in that way, and you feel you're going to go for it, but you miss all of that opportunity of telling you what's preventing you from being that successful, right? That's the very, very, very important ingredient here. We want to know exactly what we feel successful with, what's holding us back, what are the barricades in reality that's preventing us from going to that level, right? So we want to look into everything that is not allowing us to go into that state of success. Law of attraction does not teach you that, right? It tells you just make sure you deserve what you love to attract and bring it into your reality. Well, okay, that certainly is a part that can work, but that's not the full picture. Again, it's one of the biggest distortions in the spiritual New Age metaphysical community is the aspect of a law of attraction. It all comes down to the aspect of the law of coherency. You want to look at your reality. You want to look at patterns. You want to look at group consciousness. You want to look at everything that you feel you are not and saying, all right, well, this is what I realize I haven't been doing. So now I'm going to put some love, I'm going to put some trust, I'm going to put some confidence in that new area, and I'm going to bring it to life. Now as we start doing that, things start happening. We start changing, right? So rather than constantly looking off towards the horizon to find out what you want to attract, that is putting the cart before the horse. You firstly want to look at what you're not experiencing, of what you're not able to bring into your reality. So you want to look into what's being repelled, right? What is basically having this blockage, what's causing this barrier, preventing you from being able to go forward. And so this is a very, very big part of synchronicity, because when you're saying, oh, I want to be a millionaire, I want to have a great amount of success, or I want to develop my psychic abilities, I want to have the perfect ideal relationship, etc., synchronicity will tell you, well, this is why you can't have that right now. So synchronicity is doing its job, but it's telling you this is what's in the way. This is what's blocking you from being able to go to that particular level. So it's a lot of what Adronis talked about in Unleashing God Mind, when we're connecting to theta state, right? And when you're going with synchronicity, absolutely, when you're moving into that exercise, which you're going to be doing a little bit later on, yes, absolutely go into theta state. Work with that and start going very, very deep and bring that intention, just something very simple, a simple manifestation, into your life, right? But we want to be aware about maybe something that's blocking our capability of being able to bring that manifestation into our life. So before you want to run off and just start to attract all of these things that you know you want, even if you feel you deserve it, it's the idea that there's still other obstacles in the way that you didn't realize were there that need to be addressed first. So it's kind of like walking down a road, right? All of a sudden we just see this big barrier, manifest itself in the way, and saying you can't go any further. You got all these rocks in your shoes. You need to stop. You need to take your shoes off. You need to get all these rocks out of your shoes, because if you keep going, it's going to get more rough, right? Oh, I don't need to worry about that. I'm macho and I can do this and blah 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 blah. And we ignore that, and of course then we try to go around the barrier, and then we get hit with more barriers, right? So this is again an analogy that's letting you know that it's not just about attraction, right? Again, that's one of the biggest distortions that's out there. It represents an incomplete law. It is coherency, right? You want to discover what you are coherent with. What represents a relationship? Do you have a relationship to be successful? I want to be successful, but I've never known what success is. You don't have a relationship. You're incoherent by looking at it in that way. So because you're incoherent, you don't know what it is to be successful, because you haven't bothered to look into that with yourself. So no matter how much you try, how hard you try and work together with external reality, you're going to constantly get these roadblocks. You're going to get hit again and again and again and again, because you haven't been able to explore what success through yourself looks like. Oh, I saw this guy, with his big, Armani suit, and he's up in a big corporate office and blah, blah, blah. He's successful. Well, you're not him. You're not wearing an Armani suit. You're not thinking like him. You're not feeling like him. You're not in that corporate office, right? You want to look in regards to what success means to you, not what you think it means to somebody else, and then trying to adopt that because you're not that person's frequency, right? You are your own frequency, and so you have to create in your own way what success means to you. Once you have that down, now you can start moving forward. Now you can start working with being coherent and start following relationship through the magnetics of attraction and repulsion. right? So it's showing us our reality. It's showing us our forefront of reality about what we're being consciously aware of, and now it's showing us more of our background that we may not be so much aware of. But it exists more so in the surreal aspect of reality. So the surreal in that sense is feeling that something is there but not there. Something is known but not known through me, right? So we go into reality that represents that of our conscious perception, and then we go into surreality. So surrealness, again, is that feeling of the known and the not known. It's kind of like a blurry line in that way. So we kind of want to look beyond the forefront of our reality, and we want to move more into the surreal. And then the surreal is telling us more about what we are not realizing within ourselves that is not quite coherent, right? It has the verge, it's on the verge, it's on the precipice to become coherent with ourselves. But again, if we're looking at success and we really don't understand that we're trying to understand our own success, then that's where we're going to hit a snag. That's where we're going to have blockages in that way. So this is what the law of coherency is teaching you. It's teaching you all about all of the elements that are contained in your reality, to which you are familiar with relationship, to which becomes surreal, to which you're not quite familiar with, but then being able to look at where there is disconnect, where there is blockages, where there is repulsion. And then you're looking at that and saying, oh, I really haven't fueled success within me very much. I haven't been able to feel that kind of trust and love and confidence for me to bring a partner into my life, right? So now I'm starting to look at these things. I'm starting to bathe those energies with love. I'm now starting to trust those energies. I'm bringing them into myself and I'm applying them. I'm living as such a being. Now everything changes. Now doors open. Okay, here you go. Here's all these opportunities because you've been able to form a relationship with your trust, a relationship with your success, a relationship with your intimacy, right? With being able to connect with others, to form relationships, friendships, etc. This is what's important, okay? This is what has not been taught relating to the law of attraction circles. And so again, I have nothing but great respect for those guys that felt that they really wanted to bring the law of attraction to life. But you have to look more on what you don't want before you know what you want, right? That's the key. That's the basis psychology as it relates to our own psyche, as it relates to our own mentalism. When we start to understand more about what we don't want, we're able to fix that, rearrange it, realign it, and then shift into what we are. That's the ideal way of looking at all of this, rather than just running for it and saying, okay, success, come to me. I have no idea what you feel like, but go ahead, and come running to me. No, you're just going to get, bam, hit with a brick wall, right? So again, this is why law of coherency is more of the idea of the complete law, because it's looking more into the idea of the group mentality. It's looking more into your reality. It's helping you understand attraction and repulsion, and most importantly, relationship, and forming harmonious, healthy relationships with your manifestation. So that's a very important part with Synchronicity 101 here. So we'll go ahead and move on. Synchronicity and focus. One's focus determines the effect of synchronicity that becomes recognized. Have a clear intention on what you wish to manifest through your focus. Be simple, yet be precise. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. A short, solid statement that delivers all possibilities of synchronicity as long as your mind is open. So let's take a look at that saying again. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. So we're dissecting this. I am signifying a state of presence. Radiantly healthy, signifying the subject, the relationship that we're looking to acquire. In all ways, which means we're open to all possibilities that radiant health can come together with us. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. Okay? So there can certainly be other ways that you want to put this, but this is again something that really complements the infinite. So we're looking into infinite possibility that can deliver the aspect of radiant health to us in every possible way it can come. Okay? That is a very, very simple, precise, powerful statement. So again, when we start working with that, right, it doesn't have to be a whole paragraph long. It doesn't have to be a novel, right, in that way. Sorry, I'm just going to adjust my camera here. It doesn't have to be a big novel. Yeah, there we go. But what you're doing is you're just putting something simple that represents a statement of relationship. So when you're following that statement of relationship of I am radiantly healthy in all ways, and you're repeating that, and you're living that, and you can even assign visions, you can assign images to this, right? I am representing your presence, radiantly healthy, feeling what that energy is doing to you in all ways, having that 360 degree, 720 degree aspect of healing energy coming into you, feeling like a luminous body, for example, right? That's helping us to create a very solid statement. So you notice how we're not putting, oh, I don't want to be sick anymore, right? So we dissect that, I don't want. Universe doesn't understand don't, okay? All it's hearing is, I want to be sick, okay? Because what you're doing is you're confirming to yourself that you want to be ill. You want to be sick. I don't want to be sick anymore. And so I'm going to, sorry guys, my camera's wiggling a bit here. I don't want to go into the feeling of health. I'm just admitting that I'm sick. I'm admitting that I'm unhealthy. And so I'm going to allow the universe to continue to bring this in. It's kind of a weird catch-22 with the universe. The universe doesn't understand sarcasm. It doesn't understand don't or no or do not, right? We want to be very, very precise with what we are asking, with what we are commanding the universe to bring together with us. So again, I am radiantly healthy in all ways. Not that I don't want to be sick anymore. I don't want to be poor anymore. I don't want to be jealous anymore, right? So again, we're just constantly admitting what we are to the universe, right? Even though it's good that we're admitting that to ourselves, when you're putting that out as an intention, the universe is saying, okay, I'm going to create more situations that's going to make this one jealous. I'm going to create more situations that's going to make this person feel poor. I'm going to create more situations that's going to make this person create sickness within themselves. That's how the universe works. It's all based upon simplicity, being very, very straightforward, and then again, complementing that feedback loop relating to an infinite amount of ways about how that manifestation can come together with you. Okay, so that's a very, very important prospect there. So moving on. Recognizing synchronicity. Synchronicity is not to be searched for. Okay, so this is a very big one to look at. And of course we have that picture of the guy just about to enter the maze. Okay. So when you're looking at that labyrinth, you're going to be wandering around because a lot of people want to look for their synchronicity. They get excited and all of a sudden it's, okay, I'm radiantly healthy right now in all ways. Where is it? Where is it? Under the couch? Is it under the fridge? Is it outside? It's behind that tree, right? You know, we don't search for our synchronicity. Okay, synchronicity is not meant to be searched for because again, it's kind of like going into a time lag, right? You're walking forward, all of a sudden, you're resetting yourself. You're walking forward, you're going back again. We do not search for our synchronicities. We don't try and just be so analytical in looking for patterns and saying, okay, well, I know there may be something with an 1111 is going to give me my kind of synchronicity clue here. Oh, that doesn't really look like a synchronicity 1111, but maybe if I move this over here and I arrange that over here, it kind of sort of looks like one. We're trying to make it happen, right? We're putting control into this. Don't control your manifestations. Just command them. Right? Command that simple sentence. Say it 33 times, as I've talked about before. If you want to say it 33 times, or if you want to continue on just repeating it within your mind for at least 15 minutes per day. Okay, great. You're creating charge. That's what you're doing, right? It's not about holding on to that charge and basically throwing a lot of these distortions because now you're getting a mixed soup in that way. I am healthy in all ways. Yeah, what about my arthritis? So I'm putting that in. But what about my Crohn's disease? What about my lupus? Whatever it may be. We're putting all of that brew into this manifestation, and so we're conflicting it. And so it becomes fragmented, right? So we want to have a clear mind. We want to be centered. We want to be in our state of silence until we feel that we are able to proceed in saying that simple phrase, either out loud or in our minds. But again, we want to have clarity there. If we're constantly putting all of this feeling of disempowerment, of disbelief, of saying, oh, maybe I think I can do this, I don't know, right? If you're not sure, don't do it, right? Wait until you are completely certain that the manifestation that you have created is 100% on your side, and you are 100% on its side, and saying, I know I can be this. I know this is who I am. There is no doubt in my mind that this is who I am, right? Good. Now you can go ahead and now you can proceed. But as long as we keep trying to search or analyze for synchronicities that are not happening to us, they represent the aspect of coincidence, right? They're representing unassigned relationship, so it's not ours to look at. This again is why we see coincidences coming through that we don't personally have a relationship with, and that's what we can refer to as coincidence, or again unassigned synchronicity, right? Whatever you want to call it is fine, but that's basically what it is. It's when something relates to ourselves, right? So when we see that 1111, when we see somebody saying a name that we become familiar with that is linked to our synchronicity, when our phone starts to ring, when we're all of a sudden putting that intention out there, whatever it may be, there's an endless amount of possibilities about how it can come in, but you're not commanding it. So here's a very, very important thing to understand. Synchronicity is precognitive, okay? So when you are receiving synchronicity, it's like a precognitive feeling. You're not going out to search for it. It's coming to you. So that precognition feeling is again how synchronicity comes through, because you're physically seeing it in your reality, but that precognition comes into your mind and say, oh my God, that's a synchronicity, right? That's your own precognition telling you your synchronicity has arrived. So we're not searching for it. We're not wandering this endless maze and then just feedbacking off ourselves and repeating this all again because we're trying to control our synchronicity. Don't do that, right? Universe doesn't need you to control it. It is infinitely intelligent. It knows what you're looking for, and when that moment comes where everything's in alignment, you will notice that synchronicity. So have patience with yourself, and most importantly, have trust. So again, when you look, you wander the endless labyrinth of a maze. We don't want to go inside the maze, everybody. You want to stay clear of the maze, looking for synchronicity and feeling that we're trying to control everything, force everything. You will wander this labyrinth maze and you will have a hard time getting out if you constantly search. Energy holds its own intelligence. Your mind is greater than you can imagine, right? It's infinitely powerful. Work with the flow of a feeling. Enter the realm of decision over choice. So again, this is what Adronis has talked about as well too, is putting decision ahead of choice. As you put out your focused intent with a charged emotion, let the universe speak to you as you manifest, as your manifestation becomes assembled through synchronicity. Okay, so again, the universe is going to give you your cue, right? It's going to let you know that as this emotion, this strong charged intention that you're putting out, the universe is going to come back to you and it's going to say, hey, here you go, your manifestation is ready. Follow synchronicity. Let synchronicity be your guide altogether. So again, this is working with decision and not choice. Okay. So again, as Adronis has talked about with decision and choice, that choice represents these aspects of branches, and it's a point of indecision, right? A, B, C, D. Which way should I go? Oh, well, statistically, logically, rationally, practically speaking, C seems like the most logical course to go, so I'll go down C. And then you notice you're in a dead end. Logic is trying to guide you. Don't let logic guide you. It can't do it. It's not possible, right? You want to work together with your own feeling, with your own heart space, right? This is coming into unified will. This is coming into natural will. When you're working with your heart gives you that impulse feeling. You just know you start walking down this path even though your logic isn't sure. But you make that trust happen. You connect with the heart and you allow the heart to guide you down this particular path that your logic never thought that you would go down. Okay, so again, if I want to be successful, and then it's saying, okay, well, go into this route first, that route first, that doesn't seem logical. I thought I'd be going over here, right? Now we're being completely blitzed out with choices. We're not trusting the heart and saying, well, instead of going that way, maybe I should go this way. Maybe this, maybe that, right? Now we're going into the array of choices, and that is now us wandering the maze. Okay? You will never be able to find your way out of the maze as long as you try to logically deduce where you think you should be going, where you're searching, where you're analyzing. So that is where logic is going to take you. Logic is going to take you in the maze. You're going to bump into walls. Everything's going to start to feel foggy. You're going into confusion. Okay, that's what choice is. Choice is confusion. Confusion is choice. Choice and confusion are free will. So free will in that sense is basically just being guideless, right? You don't have any hands taking you and guiding you throughout this maze. You're lost in a fog. There's all kinds of heavy mist around you. You walk forward, bam, you bump your head, right? You walk backwards, bam, you bump your back into the wall. Because you're not trusting yourself, you're not trusting your own heart, you're not letting your own feelings guide you through this, okay? So that is where the aspect of choice, free will, confusion all fit together. They all represent the same thing. So free will is complete and total confusion. It's complete and total lack of guidance altogether. It's you alone, by yourself, and trying to figure out exactly where to go without tuning into yourself, with trying to rely on external logic and external methods, external practicums, and you'll get lost. That's what free will does. And again, that's where we are. That's the type of world that we live in right now. Free will is created through separation. It is not a unification. Okay, so when we're looking into free will, we're looking into the idea of an individual having the ability to make their own decisions. But again, they're not trusting their heart. They're bumping into walls. They're slamming into things. They can't see past the fog. When we go within, when we start to develop our trust, our love, we start to feel our feelings, we start to work with our emotions, we start to work and focus more on the inner self, you're moving past free will and you're moving into unified will. Now you have guidance. Now you have spirit helping you through the maze. It's taking you by the hand and saying, trust me, I know where I'm going. Just follow me. Okay? So you have to, oh wait, that doesn't logically feel good, blah, 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 right? And we take away our hand and we slip back into free will. Okay? So free will is that aspect of separation. It is separation through confusion. So when we start to work together with love, we start to trust the spirit within ourselves, our inner being, we surrender to the moment and we don't try to control anything. Okay? Don't control anything. Control nothing when it comes to your manifestations, right? Of course, you're going to, go in your car and control that and steer it, of course. But this is more so referring to your life path, your life direction, right? When you know that you're looking to develop yourself, harmonize yourself, you are trusting Spirit to take you by the hand and leading you through the entire maze. Spirit can even go even further and take you up by the hand and float you right above the maze so that you can look at everything and say, oh, that's where I needed to be, right? Now you go and you see that big gigantic magic orb that says success, and you bring it into yourself because Spirit helped you lead the way. Very, very important to understand this, okay? So free will is all part of illusion. Free will is all part of confusion. Free will is birthed through individualized separation. That's what free will is. So it's not always a great thing, right? It's a great thing in a way that we are able to make our own choices, that we are able to decide in that particular way. But that's what gets you lost in the first place, because you're relying on logic, you're relying on statistics, you're relying on memory to try and get you through life. It won't work, right? Everything is happening to you now. As everything is now, this is where the logic becomes useless, because logic cannot understand what's happening now. It's only understanding what's happened. And so only as you're understanding what has happened, that's where logic comes in and saying, oh, well, statistically, logically, rationally speaking, this is what's taking place, right? This is, again, why many of our methods pertaining to theories and preconceived notions and preconceived ideas truly are useless, right? Because they rely so much on memory. They rely so much on intellect. And intellect can be good to help us build things that we're familiar with, right? There's certainly a place for that. But that's coming into the patternization of things. That's coming into the rationality and the physical side of things, which is fine. But if you truly want to live your life path, you want to live a venture that you know is true to your heart, leave logic out of it. It has no place in this. Leave your control out of it. Leave your ego out of it. Keep it all out of the way and get out of your own way. And start walking forward And when you start doing this, now the universe is going to start communicating with you. Synchronicity will start coming together, right? So this is, again, what we are able to accomplish when we start trusting the heart. We start going into unified will, and we get out of our own way and let spirit lead the way. That is the essence of following synchronicity. Okay, so as you put out your focused intent with a charged emotion, let the universe speak to you as your manifestation becomes assembled through synchronicity. I just wanted to mention that one more time. Let the universe speak to you. Very, very important. All right, becoming masterful. One who is able to consciously decide on the manifestations within their reality are masterful creators, just like the man here creating this clay pot. Everything in life is malleable. Every decision is relative. All that coexists with you is relationship. We are just looking to get out of this fad idea that everything around you is absolute, that everything around you is solid, that there are rules. There are no rules in creation other than what you validate. You're the rule maker. You're the creator. You're the maker here. Everything is governed by you. Everything in life is malleable. Every decision is relative. All that coexists with you is relationship. What you're not in relationship with, you cannot grasp, you cannot fathom. It's when you're able to take time to look at the surreal and starting to align it so that it feels real, that it feels in alignment together with you through relationship. As a masterful creator, you can reshape what you don't prefer, what the law of coherency shares with you. So this is what I want to share with all of you guys. You are infinite, beautiful, amazing creators. Every single one of you, right? Not just reserved for a select few. Oh, there's a select few. Maybe they have more psychic abilities than me. Maybe they can jump high in the air, 20 feet in the air, and I can't do this, and blah, 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 right? We think of every particular excuse about trying to make someone else better than ourselves. And that is part of programming, right? Everything that we have received within reality that belittles ourselves, that feels that we are small, that we are incompetent, that we are ignorant, etc., is all part of that broth that society has fed you. And you're now just, quote-unquote, drinking down that Kool-Aid. Drinking down that Kool-Aid relating to the idea of feeling that I'm inferior, that I'm nothing, I can't amount to anything, I'm this, I'm that, and I'm the horrible thing. And when you're doing that, you're using all of the powers of the infinite to create walls around you. So you're taking in the infinite and saying, oh, you know, I'm nothing, I'm nobody, here's a barricade, and here's a cube, and I deserve to stay in here because I'm good for nothing, right? You used all of the powers of the infinite to do that. You created these walls right out of the energy of the infinite, right out of the quantum field, right out of your perspective. Bam, 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 right? Not walls that you could physically see, but walls that you emotionally notice. Walls that you mentally know are there. And so you're bumping into these walls even though physical reality doesn't show it, but your mental body shows it. Your emotional body shows it. So again, that's just a part of reality, another part of reality, another spectrum that again we're looking to tune into. So as you see this physical reality right now, you touch these solid surfaces, I'm touching this solid microphone, I'm waving hi to the physical camera in front of me. That's one spectrum of the physical body. And through the idea of the rainbow spectrum that we exist in and that we're able to perceive. Now, let's go into an emotional body. Now, emotional body shows us an entirely different reality. It shows us our walls. It shows us what we're upset about, what we're in despair of, right? What we're feeling that we're angry about, aggressive about. All these heavy set emotions that represent these walls. It's another spectrum of reality. You're now seeing through the emotional body's eyes. And so when you start to see through your emotional body, you see where there are kinks in the chain. You see where there are barriers. You see where there are walls. And so now you're working to take down those walls because now you're working with love, right? You realize this is what I don't want. Law of Coherency 101, right? Law of Coherency is telling you, I don't want this. I'm looking at these walls in my emotional body. I don't want to be upset anymore. I don't want to be in despair anymore. I don't want to be angry anymore. I want to be able to fix this. Okay, that's a great realization. Now, what some of us may do is we'll whine about that. We'll complain and say, oh, I'm just full of despair. I'm full of anger. I'm full of anguish and blah, 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 blah. And you're just diving more and more into the drama. So what happens is when you're going into the emotional body, you're focusing on the melodrama of the outside reality of the emotional body, right? Again, we're not looking within. Within is where all the power is. It's not outside, right? Outside is just a reminder. They're like stop signs. They're like traffic signs and saying, point this way, come into here, stop and go inside, right? That's all physical reality, external reality is doing to us. They're endless traffic signs telling us this is what you're seeing, this is what you're noticing through this person, through this place, through this event, and through this thing. Stop what you're doing, go within, and start working with love. Start working with trust. Start working with openness. Follow your heart, right? Big road sign. Follow your heart, for God's sakes. I just added that one in there. But, right, follow your heart. Work with your trust. Work with your energy. And now you start to go into an opposite direction where you felt that despair. Now you're feeling, you know what, I'm going to start complimenting myself. I'm going to follow simple acts of kindness and make this love energy just completely catapult, rocket itself up into my love levels, and I'm going to be able to look at all these feelings of despair, and I'm going to be able to forgive it. Because what we do through forgiveness is we create an alchemy. So when we're looking at despair, and when we have the courage to forgive it, what becomes birthed? What do we birth out of that through forgiveness? Despair, forgiveness, and this. This is compassion, which means we give compassion to ourselves. Compassion is the energy that allows us to forgive. So when we're looking at despair, we forgive that because we are compassionate people. Compassion is the most strongest form of energy there is. It's greater than love. Oh, Brad, are you serious about that? Yes. Right? This is it. Compassion is the strongest energy there is. Why is compassion stronger than love? Because love accepts everything, right? Love has no judgment on anything. It just truly, complete and total acceptance of everything it is. It is a subtle thing. When we're looking at one who is in despair, who maybe felt that they yelled at us or anything like that, we have so much compassion within our hearts that we forgive that aspect. We forgive that reflection of ourselves, because that's the greatest thing. Compassion takes you into the deepest bowels of shadow and is able to shine light upon it. Okay? Love by itself can't do that, right? Because love just accepts everything. Right? Love is just acceptance, acceptance, acceptance. It doesn't need to go into the bowels of the darkness. It has its own level, right? So love is up here. So it's like looking at a vortex, right? Here's darkness. Here's light, love. And even above that, here's compassion. But compassion works together in a circle, which means the compassionate are able to go into darkness and go right into the bowels of shadow and forgive it all, and cleanse it out so that that aspect of themselves that are caught in shadow accelerate up into the light, go up into compassion energy. So compassion is the greatest form of energy, the strongest form of energy there is, because it's able to go into the light and the dark, whereas love just remains in its own contrast of light, right, of harmony. So we're bringing compassion to go into the darkness and wiggle us free, and now shoot off into the darkness. Compassion is not looking to change the entirety of darkness, because darkness is required. It's a teacher, right? But what it will do is it will do rescue missions, right? So it will go into us when we're feeling stuck in the darkness, and then when we start to feel that compassion, that heart, that thankfulness, that grace that we have for ourselves, we notice we're starting to wiggle free from all this sludge within the darkness. And now we start to build up compassion. Now we're wiggling free even more, and this compassion is pushing us right through the spectrum. It's moving right past the darkness, it's moving right into the light, and now we're coming into the compassion circle. Now we're coming into the compassion field. So this, again, very important to understand when you're working with synchronicity, when you're working with manifestation, right? You want to work with great compassion to yourself to know that everything that I know I'm not, I'm able to now fix that and become its opposite. And it is compassion that's helping me along the way for that. So now I'm no longer feeling stuck. Now I'm no longer feeling in despair, because each and every single day I follow simple acts of kindness that fuel my compassion, right? So compassion is created. When we get up in the morning, we look outside, it's a beautiful day, be thankful for it. We go to our closet, we take out our favorite outfit, we put it on, we love that we have this outfit, be thankful for it. We go in the morning, we have a shower, we have a beautiful shower, we feel relaxed, we feel clean, we feel wonderful. Be thankful for it, right? We have a toothbrush, we brush our teeth are nice and shiny, nice and clean right now. Be thankful for it. We go downstairs, we make breakfast. We make an incredible breakfast for ourselves. It tastes absolutely delicious. Be thankful for it. We go into our car, we start driving around the city. We're able to go these places in minutes. We're thankful for having a car. Be thankful for that. Do you see how this is all working? Simple acts of kindness. We see a nice person walking their dog, they're smiling. We tip our hat to them, right? We say, hello, good morning, beautiful dog you have, right? Be thankful for that moment. You brought it into yourself, right? That person walking down that street with that cute little dog, smiling, enjoying herself, you notice her, you give that appreciation, you show that love, thankfulness, grace, compassion. Now your love levels are up to here, right? And your despair is just down to here. And now you're taking all of that love and you're washing that despair. You're washing that suffering. And now that suffering becomes compassion, right? So now you're starting to look at everything in the form of sweetness, in the form of grace, in the form of thankfulness and gratefulness. Again, all leading up into compassion, the greatest energy there is, right? That's all there is to it. Now your energies are so high, you feel just amazing, right? You just gave thanks to simple things within your life, and now you're just floating in bliss. Doesn't matter what you have done and what you know as the past, right? And feeling, oh, I let this person down, or I did this, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When you put all of this love, compassion into yourself, and now you're causing that wave to completely wash away that despair, all of that doesn't mean anything anymore, right? You have become a new person. You are a new person every single moment that you exist. Every single second that passes, you're new, right? This is your vibration. It's constantly moving in this form of a spiral, right? And it's constantly evolving. It's constantly changing. So when you put all of this love energy in it, it's now moving upwards and spiraling, right? Now you're looking at an entirely new spectrum. And now you're at the greatest alignment of being a powerful, masterful creator that can work with synchronicity, that can work with your ability to shape reality. Okay? That's who we are. We have never experienced another person's reality, ever. Right? This is the biggest illusion that's pulled over our eyes. Somebody on TV makes this official, right? They're wearing their big little tie, and their big little tie. I love that. They're wearing their bright red big little tie and their big little head and all of that, and saying, "Whoa, this is so official, and oh, I'm this guy, and this is it. I'm your master. You have to obey me," right? You're giving value or lack thereof of that particular person. You're in charge. This is your reality. This is your clay. You're shaping it. When you give power to a person, you give them that value. And so, yeah, this person knows what they're talking about. They may not even know what the hell they're talking about. But you give value to that person. It's like me, right? You guys may love what I'm saying. You may hate what I'm saying. That's okay. It's not about me. Right? It's about looking into what you feel is truth for yourself. You validate what's true to you. It's not about me having to say, this is how you guys need to live your reality. I'm not here to do that. I'm telling you what you can do with your reality as a creator, right? As you're working with synchronicity, because you can make yourself as successful or as humble or as grateful or anything of that nature that you want. This is your reality. This is your sandbox. Right? You're the one with the shovel and the pail, and you're putting all the sand in the pail, turning it upside down. Here's a castle. It's your castle. You made it, right? That's how powerful you are. When you realize this, reality is going to be far more greater than you can possibly imagine. Many of us haven't even begun to live yet. All we've done is survive. because we have lived in a shell. We have lived so, deeply entrenched in this hard shell because we validate so much about what other people have been saying about us and reality for most of our lives, right? It's time to get off of that. It's time to let that garbage go and now break that shell and make everything malleable. You can create anything as long as you're 100% on your side of your manifestation. I'm living proof of this, right? Everything that's around me, all part of my manifestation. Looking into your place right now, where you are, all part of your manifestation, right? So again, we're all living proof that everything that we have obtained up until now has been based upon our decisions to make, right? And all we're doing is we're looking into those old choices that are still out of bounds with ourselves, that we're still not able to form relationships with. We're able to now take that energy and harmonize it and make it into something pure and genuine and beautiful. Because now we're in relationship with it, and now synchronicity will lead the way to helping us bring about a reality that we know we prefer. Okay? So moving on. So again, look more into what doesn't fit into your life over what does. A master sees their reality as a block of clay. Strip away the non-essentials and use what only suits your vision of purity. Okay? Remember, as a masterful creator, you can reshape what you don't prefer that the law of coherency shares with you. Just like you see the man here creating that pot, right? Creating that pottery. That's your reality. That's you. Those are your hands. And that clay is reality. You can shape it any way you wish. Okay? Moving on. Translating synchronicity. The synchronicities you receive are deeply personal. Don't see your synchronicities as complicated. You'll become confused. You'll bump back into free will again. When a synchronicity emerges, ask yourself how it makes you feel. Feel the synchronicity. Don't analyze it, right? Don't search for it. Let the feeling speak to you as it is relationship. Follow the feeling as you work with your heart to make a decision. Synchronicity is a white rabbit. Follow the white rabbit and let it take you to where you will witness your manifestation come to life. So if we're going back into Alice in Wonderland, Alice following the white rabbit and going down the rabbit hole, right? That is such a powerful meaning, right? And this is very, very common, especially in the synchronicity circles, as we use that example of the white rabbit, of Alice in Wonderland, of the Matrix in that way, right? It's all the same thing. So you have to see your synchronicity as this little white rabbit, right? So when at 11:11 on the clock says, oh my God, here's the feeling that comes up out of it, a little rabbit starting to hop away. Okay, I'm going to follow that white rabbit. I'm going to see where it takes me. Okay, and that's what synchronicity does. It's letting you know that there is providence, right? That there is something stewing in the mix here, and that there's a confirmation coming through. Follow that synchronicity like that white rabbit, and now you're going to lead yourself into the manifestation itself. So synchronicity is a preeminence to manifestation. Okay, that's what it's doing. It's letting you know, we got your message, and now we're going to follow this little white rabbit. We're going to have him hop around. You follow him. Your manifestation comes together. Okay? So it's taking you on a journey. So again, if that's a feeling of success, you may get this impression that success is around the corner, right? So maybe that's a numerological significance. Maybe that's somebody saying a name or a word or whatever it is. That's synchronicity telling you, hey, it's about to come together here. Follow me. Follow synchronicity. Follow where it goes. And you follow it based upon how it makes you feel. Okay? So if you're feeling the idea that you're singing and you're happy, all of a sudden you get an 11:11 on the clock, keep doing it. Keep singing, keep being happy. And now all of a sudden something comes together that represents the culmination of that manifestation that you put out, right? All of a sudden now you get money in your bank account, right? All of a sudden you have an opportunity to go on a date, right? So all of a sudden you have the opportunity to get a really good price on a car that you want, whatever it may be, right? A lot of it is the idea that you may have psychic perception coming into yourself. The sky's the limit, right? Everything has the opportunity to manifest itself. But what synchronicity is, it's that assigned meaning. It's that aspect of a messenger, that little white rabbit that says, here I am, come and follow me, right? I'm going to take you to your manifestation. All right, cool, let's go. So then you continue to follow that feeling. Bam, manifestation comes together. you did it. And sometimes it can even be even better than you imagine it being, right? And that's happened to me on many occasions. I've woken up in the morning, I've checked my bank account, I had money in my bank account, I didn't even know where it came from, right? And it was quite a bit of money as well, too. There was no person that contacted me, it was just boom, right in the bank account there. Like, damn, that's pretty cool, right? Working with financial abundance, and all of a sudden that money comes right in your bank account. You don't know where it comes from. Sometimes you'll get a check in the mail. You don't even know who it's from. And you go ahead and you cash that, right? And it's fine. It's all meant for you, right? Because it's all part of synchronicity, of working together within the clay of reality and sculpting this clay of financial abundance, new relationships, new career that's unfolding, working with personal development, following the white rabbit, understanding more about universal mechanics, whatever it may be. All of it is possible, right? It's all capable through you. So again, remember, synchronicity is a white rabbit. Follow the white rabbit and let it take you to where you will witness your manifestation come to life. Okay, and the final slide, synchronicity exercise. This is what we're going to do together as a group. For all of you that are listening live, or again, you're that are listening to this recording. This exercise will help you to focus your feelings and intention toward a manifestation you wish to be coherent with. Let it be a manifestation of simplicity. Don't let it be complicated or beyond your reach. Okay, remember these are the synchronicity keys, okay? So there's 6 of them here. Center yourself. Feel yourself. Relate to what you wish to bring in through synchronicity. Give the intention for that synchronicity to come together. Again, your simple phrase. Follow that energy once the synchronicity arrives. Once you see the right rabbit, follow it. Then you will receive what that manifestation is. Okay? Center, feel, relate, intend, follow, receive. So CFR, IFR. CFR, IFR. Okay? When synchronicity is recognized, listen to the heart, tune in, and follow the white rabbit. Okay, so let's begin. So I'm just going to be guiding all of you here now. So what I would ask all of you, if you do have the means, is just get a small piece of paper out, or if you want to use your tablet or your phone, that's fine. And we want to go back into that message where we said that sample. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. Okay, we want to create something similar to that idea. Okay, so we want to start off with I am. And then we want to put a subject there, in all ways. Okay, I am completely successful in all ways. I am in a happy relationship in all ways. Right? So just something very, very simple that you're able to manifest. Don't feel that you need to, have a manifestation that's going to impact the entire world. Don't make a synchronicity about somebody else. Okay? This is your time. This is for you to work with yourself. What type of synchronicity manifestation do you want to create for yourself? It's not about your mom, your dad, your grandmother. It's not about the entire population of the world. It's not about extraterrestrials, other dimensions, etc. What is it that you want to simply manifest through synchronicity through yourself? Okay? Don't make it about anybody else. Make it about you. Okay? I am radiantly healthy in all ways. I am completely successful in all ways. I am in a loving relationship in all ways, right? All these simple ideas. So you want to write that down. Okay, so if you have a pen and paper handy, go ahead and do this now. If you want to use your tablet, your phone, go ahead and do this now. Just something that you're able to recognize. Something that's simple, something that's solid, and something that feeds back upon itself in complement with the infinite. So once you have that phrase down, now we're just going to work to get ourselves nice and comfortable. Okay, so find a nice comfortable spot wherever you are. You got a couch or a chair, you're laying down, whatever it may be, that's fine. You can just relax. That's the important part here. Okay? So find a very comfortable space right now. Get yourself nice and relaxed. Make sure the body is free of any tension. And we're just going to start taking some deep breaths. So taking a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And one more time, deep breath in and deep breath out. And just relax. Breathe normally and relax. And now I want you to focus just a few inches above the top of your head. And I just want you to feel like there is this soft, whitish orb, like a cloudy white orb that is just floating above your head, just a few inches above your head. And I just want you to feel that that soft, cloudy orb is now emitting all of this soft, cloudy white light. And it's just wrapping itself around your entire body, from the top of your head, going all the way down the face, going all the way down the neck, down around your shoulders, your back, your chest, down through your arms to your fingertips, down to your abdomen, the lower back, down to your waist and your hips, down your knees, and going all the way down the ankles, down to the feet, and to the tips of the toes. And feeling yourself completely immersed in this very soft, relaxing, beautiful white cloud of energy. And let your physical body feel this relaxation. Let your physical body be completely relaxed, just like a wave of calmness has filled every cell of your body. Feeling relaxed, feeling centered, feeling tranquil. And when you're feeling your physical body in this way, you are entering theta state. So now as we're moving into the theta state, imagine that all of that soft energy is just slowly starting to dissipate away. And directly in front of you, you see a door. And this door is just going to automatically open for you at the count of 5. At the other end of the count of 5 is your God mind, is your higher self, is your universal consciousness. So let's relax and just focus on the door directly in front of us as it will open within 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feeling that door open. Feeling the light coming out through that door, and feeling yourself in bondage connection with the God mind, with the higher self, with the universal consciousness. That God mind, that higher self, that universal consciousness is listening to you now. And now that it is listening, feel free to share, either in your mind or out loud, the phrase that you have written down. And we're going to do this a total of 33 times for this exercise. So in this example, I will just be using the phrase, I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 1. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 2. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 3. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 4. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 5. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 6. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 7. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 8. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 9. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 10. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 11. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 12. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 13. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 14. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 15. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 16. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 17. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 18. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 19. I am infinitely healthy in all ways. 20. I am radiantly healthy within all ways. 21. I am radiantly healthy within all ways. 22. I am radiantly healthy within all ways. 23. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 24. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 25. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 26. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 27. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 28. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 29. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 30. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 31. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 32. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 33. And let's take another deep breath in. Deep breath out. And with your intention now, give a love and blessing to your higher self. Give that loving blessing to your universal mind, to your God mind, and feel yourself closing that door in peace, nice and softly, nice and gently. Once that door has closed, give a blessing to yourself and give your complete complement to the ability of you developing this synchronicity and knowing that it will come to pass. And another deep breath in, deep breath out, as we now start to come back into the present moment. Just slowly starting to move your fingertips, your hands, rolling your shoulders slightly, fluttering your eyes, slowly starting to curl your toes, just returning back nice and softly, nice and gently into physical reality. And when you are ready, you may open your eyes completely and return back into this moment. Okay, so that is the synchronicity exercise. So again, this is Synchronicity Training 101. We want to continue to work with that exercise, and we want to be aware of what we have been able to charge 33 times. So as I said, you can do it 33 times, or you can do it for at least 15 minutes, right? And just, chanting that same phrase, I am radiantly healthy in all ways. Sometimes even said infinitely healthy, because I still use the infinite term once in a while. But again, I am radiantly healthy in all ways, whatever it is that you have created, and continuing to manifest that, right? So continuing to share that forward. So again, if you want to see visions with what you're seeing in every word, right? I am radiantly healthy in all ways, right? Visions, images come through with that, great. That's a great compliment to yourself. That's just going deeper on a visual level, right? So you can continue to do that. It's all about feeling here. That's the most important part. It's just allowing that visualization to capture that feeling into every single word and letting that word be held and recognized by your God mind. Okay, your God mind needs to see this. This is why we go into theta. Okay, so if we're basically just in a beta state, oh yeah, I'm infinitely healthy in all ways, right? That's just, that's not captured. That's not grasped into the God mind, right? We want to relax ourselves. We want to center ourselves. Most importantly, we want sincerity, right? We want absolute and total sincerity with that phrase, with that manifestation altogether, okay? So continue to practice this. Look back into the synchronicity exercise if you like. And again, just be aware of any white rabbits that start come together in your way. There's also another game that we'll be teaching in Synchronicity Training 201, where you're basically just completely empty and you rely on synchronicity to guide you throughout the entire day, right? There's people that actually create what's known as synchronicity walks, and they actually get a group of people together and they have dice, and they start throwing dice on the ground, and they start trying to find the number that will be the theme of their synchronicity walk. They'll start following white rabbits, people that stand out, walking down the street, and then this small group of people will slowly, inconspicuously start to follow this person for a certain amount of time, and it will lead them into certain levels of manifestation that the group consciousness has put intentions toward, right? Just through your subconscious, so to speak. So meeting a nice person, seeing a $20 bill on the ground, whatever it may be. So synchronicity walks, again, would be kind of a part of the synchronicity training 201. There's been times as well, too, where I've just got in my car and I've allowed synchronicity to lead me to wherever I felt was a good place to go, right? So I'd see what's known as the 11 and the X, okay? So 11, if I saw 11 within my reality, that would represent that the gates are open. Follow this course. Stay this path. If I saw the X, that means this has nothing to do with you. Don't follow it. Let it go. It's a false aspect of synchronicity, or not really a synchronicity, but it's a false aspect of coincidence. You don't need to follow it. So 11, stay the course. X, don't go here, right? So that, again, is something that I've played myself, just solo. It's a lot of fun as well, too, right? So again, you're empowering those two symbols, right? The 11 symbol, the X symbol. You can create your own symbols, of course. Those are just the two that I use, and I've played with solo synchronicity driving, I guess you could say. And it took me to really great adventures. I really, really enjoyed it. So we'll be looking into that when we get into Synchronicity Training 201 that will be coming very soon. Okay? So thank you, everybody, for joining me today for Synchronicity 101. I hope this has all helped you out, understanding more about synchronicity and, of course, you yourself as the reality creator. All right? So we're going to be moving on to Q&A here very shortly. Before we do, I'm just going to... Whoops. Jeez. Forgot about that. Wrong panel. So anyways, before we do that, I'm just going to mention my offer once again on newearthteachings.com for those who have tuned in. If you go to newearthteachings.com, you order a session on the shopping cart page. Just type in SYNC101. Enter that promo code in the shopping cart page, and you'll receive 20% off any session. And again, this discount is good until end of day, September 17th. So go ahead and go to newearthteachings.com and check that out. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move into Q&A. So if anybody has any questions here, feel free to post it in the chat. I am just going to the YouTube chat here for now. Just a lot of thanks. Thank you very much, guys. I am radiantly abundant in all ways. Very good. Yeah, absolutely. Again, just using that key aspect. Again, we want to recognize a statement that represents ourselves, I am, then the subject that we want to bring into manifestation, and then something that represents a complement of it feeding back itself in all ways that can come together, right? So I am radiantly healthy in all ways. I am radiantly healthy infinitely can also work as well too, right? So again, something that just complements the feedback of you receiving all of these opportunities in all ways. No doors are shut, okay? All right, so guys, if you have any questions, just looks like we got a lot of great comments here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to post it on the chat here. It's a good little Chinese proverb here that Omar put. Even the fox is sad when there is no rabbit to chase, right? You're always going to be the fox, and that rabbit is always going to show you the way to your own personal fortune, the way to your own personal self, the way to your own purity of whatever it is that you want to manifest together. Okay, well, this is kind of a technical question. Someone asked, Brad, how do I subscribe to your notifications when you hold these live events? And it's actually a pretty good question because I have a lot of people that tell me that they're not aware of the subscriptions that come into my channel. So what you want to do is when you just go to my page, Self-Empowerment TV, make sure you click on the subscribe button and then click on that little bell icon as well too. So when that little bell icon is there, you're going to get notifications when there's new videos up. So if you haven't done that yet, you can just go to my channel, click on subscribe, and then click that little bell icon, okay? And that will help you with notifications as well. Okay? Technical question, but still good. Yeah, we're not going to be sticking with any off-topic questions for today, guys. Today is mostly just going to be focusing around synchronicity. I know a lot of people have other questions about ETs or ancient history and all that. We're not focusing on that today. Today we're just basically looking into all synchronicity. So wait until the next event, or again, you can always email me, or you can grab a session as well too, if you have such questions in that way. Right now we're just sticking with synchronicity, reality creating based questions today. Okay, so Jay asks, how do we know we are in theta state? Okay, well, it's like I said, your body physically reacts to what the stimulation within your mind is perceiving. Okay, so think of it in the idea that when you're holding a big sandwich, right? Maybe it's your favorite sandwich in the whole world, and you're just feeling yourself mentally holding this sandwich. And now you start to feel the saliva within your mouth just wetting, right? You can't wait to put this in your mouth. You can't wait to take a bite out of this. That's an idea of a theta state. When you become sexually aroused, okay, your body physically reacts to that. That's a theta state, okay? When you're again going into deep relaxation, you feel like there's just a soft, tingling sensation. Really what I would say to people, relax, right? Don't be all tensed up like this. Because if you're tensed up and if you're constantly lost in thought, you're not going to be able to focus on how your body is reacting to this stimulation that you're putting into your mind. So first thing you want to do, relax yourself. Take deep breaths. Soften yourself. Imagine like every muscle within your body has gone limp. Okay? So don't try to feel like you're being lost in thought. You're being taken away by thought. You need to loosen yourself up. Don't be so stiff. Right? So when you're loosening yourself up and you're allowing this mental stimulation to come together and your physical body is reacting to that, that's you in theta. Okay, what you're doing is your body is reacting to a deeply immersive daydream, and that deeply immersive daydream is the theta state. Okay, so we have the beta state, which is kind of like our natural awoken state. It's not really focused, right? Then we have our alpha state. Alpha state is like enhanced focus, right? We're really focused. We're really into reading a book, right? We're really into focusing on some type of depth. We're lost looking at a work of art, right? And we're just looking at that. We're immersing ourselves into that. So that's kind of, again, an enhanced state of focus. When we go into theta, we're going into a very highly advanced daydream. Okay, so we're going into a daydream state. Again, we're feeling that sexual arousal. Our physical body reacts. Okay, theta. We're getting really, really relaxed. Every muscle in our body is relaxed. We're feeling this white, cloudy energy flowing through us. We're feeling these nice, soft, tingling sensations flowing through our body. Theta. Okay, that's how we know we're going to theta, when your body physically reacts. It's a technique. There are other ways of going into theta, of course, as well too, but this is one of the easiest ways to do it. Is you're allowing your son. It's thanks to Adronis that brought this up, because I always thought I had to listen to some theta music, or again, the way I go into channeling. When I channel Adronis, it's a theta state. Okay, so I go into theta when I start communicating with him, because I feel like I'm in a very deep daydream. I'm starting to see vistas, landscapes as well too. I'm feeling his energy just kind of connecting together with mine. My body is relaxed, but what actually gets me into theta is this. Okay, when I start orbiting. Orbiting is actually allowing me to go into theta state, because I'm not even realizing that I'm doing it, and my body just feels like a magnetic rod, right? So I'm just getting all this information flowing through me, and it's all coming into theta. So when I start doing the chanting, you know, Terra, Soul Star, Sirius, Adronis, that's me entering alpha, right? So when I'm going into alpha, I'm focusing on the planet Earth. I'm focusing on our sun. I'm focusing on Sirius, and then I'm focusing on Adronis. And then when Adronis comes through, poof, right? This rotating, this orbiting that I do brings me into theta, right? I'm fully connected as him. And so that's going into theta state in that way. And so again, this is things that he's described to me internally. And so that's my own intention when connecting through channeling state, to connect with Adronis in a theta state. So again, when we go into theta, our body is physically reacting to this deep daydream that we're going into, right? Sexual arousal, taking a bite out of a favorite sandwich, imagining you're driving a car, whatever it may be. Anything that your physical body is reacting to based upon that mental stimulation that's coming through together. So you want to soften yourself. Don't be as stiff as a board, right? Really relax yourself. Be lucid, right? Shake out your head a bit. Shake out your arms. let yourself be loose, and then just fall into your mental stimulation, and then your body physically reacts to it, and that's you entering theta. Okay? Someone asks here, actually I got a couple questions here. Let me go up to the top here. Okay, here's one. It says, Brad, why 33 times? Well, 33 is a master number, right? So this is a synchronicity or numerology significance that a master is putting out a masterful request. Okay, so we're using the masterful teaching number of 33. So 33, it's no more different than how you would count 108 prayer beads in that way, representing a numerological significance. The 33 here in that sense, according to Adronis, is when we do it nice and slowly, it's the appropriate amount of time needed to hard code and cement in your intention through your mind to know that it is actually real and that it's going to be happening to you. But again, the synchronicity comes together with the master numbers, right? So it's the masterful practitioner, the masterful creator that's bringing about his masterpiece throughout reality, right? So there's a numerological significance and there's a timing significance to it. So when you do it nice and slowly, I am radiantly healthy in all ways. Repeating that 33 times, that's all you need to have that click, to have that hard-coded, to have that cemented within your mind, for the God mind to listen to all of that and know exactly that this is what you want, and so now processing begins. So it is basically the idea of taking something soft and putting it into a hardness, okay? That's why we do it 33 times. Now, if you want to do it more than 33 times, go ahead, right? This is just my recommended time, okay? 15 minutes, if we're doing it in 15 minutes, this again is just entrenching it even further, okay? So I do my meditations usually for 15 minutes in that way. 15 minutes is making something in that sense that's soft, moving it into hard, making it completely hard-coded. It's actually reshaping your neurological pathways within your mind when you're doing it for a full 15 minutes. So again, I am radiantly healthy in all ways. Your mind is now starting to create neural pathways that are reflecting this connection. So you can understand that 15 minutes is an alchemy-based hardness of neural pathways that are reforming. So what you're actually doing is you're reforming your neural pathways by doing this for at least 15 minutes per day. Okay? I know a lot of people ask me, why do we do this? Why do we do that? Just try it. See it for yourself, right? I can explain it to you, but when you're actually trying it, you're going to feel it for yourself. You feel, oh my God, I feel like it's just been like burned into my head, like someone just took a laser and just etched it right in there when I did it for 15 minutes. Yes, that's your neural pathways completely reforming and realigning, recrystallizing in that way, to making this manifestation solid, to making it a part of yourself. And now you're going to start living as that particular type of radiantly healthy being, for example. Okay? That's exactly why we do it in this template, right? Again, 33 times is a ritual. 15 minutes is a ritual. Again, if you want to do it more, go ahead and do it more. But I would say do it at least 33 times, or if you want to really embed it into your neural pathways, do it again for 15 minutes. And now you start living as that person because you've hard-coded that. You've made those neural pathways completely solid and realigned so that this energy is now a part of yourself. So you're indoctrinating it into your own psyche. Okay? That's why we do it in that way. But again, it's flexible. You can always do more if you want. Okay, so I'm just going to go down the list here. Okay, Michael says, how do I know if a number sequence is programming or an angel guide telling me something? They're one and the same, Michael. It's one and the same thing. When anybody's telling you something, that's a program, okay? When you value that program and you make it part of yourself, that's something you indoctrinate the program within yourself, right? So if it's 11:11, all of a sudden you're feeling this vision or this voice within your mind and saying, oh, here's what we're going to get you to do today, right? Or blessing, love yourself, whatever it may be. That's the same thing. It's all part of a mesh, right? It's a meshing of energies coming together, and everything that you experience through expression is a program, right? So again, when you're buying into that program, you put it together in yourself, you ingrain it, you entrain it, and you make it part of yourself, right? Every particular form of expression ever is a program, okay? It's a program that you can put aside, or it's something that you can embrace. But everything is a program. As long as you have expression, you have programming. Okay? Sanders asks, can you see intuition as knowing? Yes, that's actually the point. That's what we were trying to get, actually, out of ourselves, is that when intuition flows through you, all of a sudden you know something. Intuition has brought that together with us, right? Intuition, into I action, right? It's energy and motion, right? It's our emotions. It's our feelings. It's coming into ourselves. And now we're feeling this energy. And we know it's something that's genuine. It's precognitive, right? Intuition is precognitive, okay? It's not something that's created through some type of thought sequence, okay? That's your own mind. That's your own perspective on things. So we're not creating thought perspective here. We're allowing intuition to come through ourselves, and it's instant. It's that clear cognizance. It's that precognition that comes in. Okay, I'm going to go this way. Well, what makes you think you're going to go that way? Well, I didn't even think about it, right? I just went. I completely just impulsed and went for intuition and followed it without any particular form of complication, without any debate, without any aspect of being lost in choice, being lost in the fog, right? So we're working together with precognition, and that's how intuition works. That instantaneous feeling, you know you didn't create it. I mean, sure that you're bringing it into your reality and you're perceiving it, and now you're walking that particular path. And now you're allowing this intuition to come through, and you're walking this path, you're following the white rabbit, right? That's how intuition works. It is a precognitive concept. Okay, moving on. Just scanning the chat here for a moment here, guys. Bear with me. Okay. So here's one from Loomis Cancer. How much of an influence does the subconscious mind have on synchronicity? All of it, really, right? It's like I said, you're going into the surreal, right? So that is always existing. You have your forefront of reality that you know your relationships are. You also have subconscious relationships as well, too. Now, basically, synchronicity works with your subconscious. It doesn't really work with your conscious self, because if it did, then you try to consciously control everything, right? Basically, synchronicity works together with the subconscious. And so when the subconscious has alignment points, now it's coming into the forefront of your reality. So you have to look at like a screen here, right? Here's the forefront of your reality right here. Going all the way back here is your subconscious mind. So the conscious self is only this itty-bitty little dot. It's just the immediate forefront of our reality. But when we go beyond that scope, we look at the vast subconscious. So when we're putting an intention forward, we're telling ourselves we're going to become this alignment, right? We haven't become that alignment yet. So we're basically doing a ritual, a particular type of notion that's allowing the subconscious to align, and it's like that subconscious energy is coming into our conscious self, right? So everything pertaining to synchronicity is based upon the subconscious. So the subconscious mind and synchronicity are again a part of that influence, because what we're doing as a conscious self is we're sending out that intention. Where do you think it's being sent out to? It's being sent out to the subconscious. And so the subconscious is mapping that energy. And so it's moving everything around. We don't have to do anything with it, right? The subconscious is its own intelligence. And now it's forming this, and once it's patternized, whoosh, here you go, right? So now you're seeing the white rabbit hopping up to you, right? Follow me, follow me. You follow it, bam. Synchronicity comes together. So what you're doing is you're rearranging the subconscious within yourself, not through what you control, but through your process. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. 33 times, sending that out, letting it go. Not trying to hold on to it like some type of identity. Just putting it out there like you're placing an order in a pizza shop, right? I'll just get the large pepperoni and that's it, right? I don't have to do anything. I don't need to run back in the kitchen. I don't need to prepare the pizza. I don't need to start flipping the dough, right? I don't need to start putting all the toppings on it. The universe is doing that for me, right? I'm the customer just sitting here, reading a newspaper, whatever it is, and now, ding, 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 pizza's ready. Manifestation. Right? Synchronicity. That bell that sounded, that was synchronicity. Got your attention, here's the pizza box. Okay? That's exactly what this is all about. So you are sending out that order, you're sending out that request, you're sending out that, I wouldn't even say a request, it's more so in the idea that this is exactly who you see yourself are. So you're sending out that commanding intention right? And you're putting it out there, and now you're letting the subconscious, you're letting the cooks cook up and prepare your manifestation. So again, when you're constantly saying, what the hell's taken so long? God almighty, I've been here for so long. You guys are slow as crap. What the hell, man? Right? Then we're just going to get more and more delays because, you know, these guys don't even feel like making your pizza right now. Like, this guy's being a jerk, man. All right, so we want to just let it go, put it out, let the cooks prepare it, let the chef get it ready. You'll hear the bell, synchronicity, ding, 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 ding. Oh, now you got your attention to the synchronicity, the pizza's in your hands. Okay, that's the best form of analogy I can give to this, right? So again, the subconscious mind and synchronicity. Synchronicity, again, is that little white rabbit. It's the messenger. It's letting you know that synchronicity is about to bring in, through providence, your aspect of manifestation that has been assembled to the subconscious mind, and now you're making the journey to make it conscious. Okay, that's basically, again, the analogy I can give for that. All right, I hope that makes sense. Okay. So I know I'm going to get some questions here about people saying 11, 22, 33. Don't really ask me about what this all means. It's all about looking into itself, right? I can give you the universal terms for a lot of these, right? 11 can represent a master healer. 22 can represent like a master builder. 33 can represent a spiritual master, right? But you want to look into these a lot deeper. You want to look into what your own synchronicity means. Again, some of you may get your birth date in there as well too, and you have to understand exactly what that means to you. When you see your birth date, it's giving you the idea that this is a personal code. This is a personal manifestation coming together with you. Some people may see their apartment number coming up as a numerological synchronicity. Again, that's coming together because it's saying this is for you. It's not for Biff over here walking down the street with a cane. It's for you. This is something you recognize. Oh, 321. Hey, that's my apartment number. Bam, this is a manifestation, a synchronicity that's coming together for me. It's letting me know I'm getting my attention, and precognitively it spoke to me. Okay, so don't worry so much about the universal terms, about a lot of the number synchronicities in that sense. Again, how does it make you feel? Okay, people really pay attention to that. How does the numerological manifestation that you just received make you feel? Okay, even if you get an 11 o'clock, or even if you get a 222 on the clock, whatever it may be, how does it make you feel? And when you're able to answer that, that is what you know about your manifestation. That's about the synchronicity that's coming together. Okay, so, oh my God, this is feeling surprising. I know it's for me, right? Great. That's the feeling. Follow the white rabbit. Stay in that feeling. And now you'll see something come together, most likely in the same day. Okay? Thank you very much. Neuroplasticity, yes, of course. In this way, neurohardness, because we're actually hardening that particular form of neural pathways and making part of our personality. But yes, neuroplasticity definitely is a process. Okay, yes, much love to everybody here. Thank you so much. So again, Awakening Within just answered your question about the 222s, the synchronicity numerology. Yes, the subconscious mind is way more powerful than the conscious mind. Change your subconscious mind, change your life. That's why you repeat phrases till it's ingrained in the subconscious. You got it. Absolutely. That's all we're doing. We're just sending out this program. The subconscious is taking that and saying, oh, this is powerful, right? It's like a big orb, right? So the more that we charge this orb up with all of those with all of that simple phrase of manifestation, and we're putting it out there, subconscious, whoa, this is huge, right? This is great. This is easy now, the process, because there's so much energy behind it, right? This is again why we're giving it the 33 or the 15 minutes. Okay, we're charging that energy up. It's really, 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 really big. So if I'm like this and saying, oh, you know, I kind of sort of want to be radiantly healthy, if that's okay, if that's not going to cause any problems, you know, sort of, right? Little tiny breadcrumb of a manifestation saying, this guy's serious? Is he kidding? Right? This is going to take a long, long time for him to process, maybe after 20 years. Who knows, right? So when you're really, you know, amping up this energy with those chants, this is like a spell, right? You're using a spell. You're using, again, a program. And you're building up this energy through your conscious self, and you're sending it off to the subconscious. The God mind hears this. Its big old ear is hearing that and saying, oh, okay, you want to be radiantly healthy. All right, send it through. Right? And now this big energy is coming through, and it magnetizes everything so promptly, so quickly, right? So the larger your manifestation, the greater opportunity of that coming back to you quicker. That's why we do it, for this repetitiveness in that way. You have to understand the nature of energy. If we're very, very light and small with a little grain of energy and we try to throw that out, subconscious is going to be like, come on, man. That's going to take you quite a while to have that process, right? So we're making our manifestation big. We're not only believing it, we're knowing that this is a part of ourselves. This is who we are. And so we're making that energy so powerful, so impressive with all these manifestations, these phrases that we're using. I am radiantly healthy in all ways. Whew. Sending it out. Then we forget about it. We let it go. We go on with our day. And now we let the subconscious patternize that together. They're making the pizza in the back, right? Ding, ding, ding. You're ready. Here's synchronicity. Oh, okay, I'll follow synchronicity. I'm going to go around back to the counter. Boom. Here's the pizza, right? That's all we're doing, is we're making synchronicity pizza, right? We're making a pizza of manifestation. That's our nature here. That's what we're doing, okay? All right, so guys, we are out of time. So I want to thank all of you for all of your questions, and again, for all your participation. I really appreciate it. So again, feel free to look back on this recording if you have any questions. Thank you again for joining me for Synchronicity 101 this week, or for this month's webinar. Next month, we'll have a new presentation. I'm not too sure if it will be the 201 or it may be another one. I'll just keep you guys updated on that. But again, oops, sorry guys, wrong button. But again, feel free to check out newearthteachings.com. Enter promo code SYNC101. Receive 20% off any session discount. And again, it ends on September 17th. So again, on the shopping cart page, you'll see enter a promo code. Click on that and just type in SYNC101 and get 20% off any session on the website. So again, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for joining me. And I'll speak to you again in another perspective of the now. Take care. Namaste.